Y'all, did y'all hear about that terrible prank that went wrong over in Georgia where a teacher was accidentally killed during one of the pranks? So the teen who was involved finally broke his silence, and there's a lot to the story, okay? So let's get into it. So, the school community in Gainesville, Georgia is mourning the loss of their math teacher, Jason Hughes. He was 40, whose tragic passing left a group of high school students under arrest. So, 40-year-old Jason Hughes was targeted by a bunch of high schoolers last week as a part of the junior senior prank wars. And after successfully toilet paper in his house, the pranksters jumped into two cars in an attempt to flee. However, Mr. Hughes was waiting on the teens and he was trying to catch them in the act. Unfortunately, he ran out the house. It was raining that day. He tripped on the street and was accidentally ran over by the teens. Now, the good thing is the teens stopped immediately after realizing that they accidentally hit their teacher. They stayed, waited for paramedics, and they rendered aid, but unfortunately, their teacher did pass away at the hospital. And unfortunately, those teens, Wallace faced a homicide charge and released this following statement, vowing to honor the deceased teacher for the rest of his life. He states, and I quote, "I pledge to live out the remainder of my life in a manner that honors the memory of Coach Hughes by exemplifying Christ," the 18-year-old said in a statement. He will never be forgotten. The teen's parents also released a statement saying that the family was in deep remorse and over grieving such a tremendous loss in their North Hall community. So this is the picture of the young man. They all turned themselves in, but for some reason, he's the only one that has his mugshot out right now that I could find. And it does seem like a very terrible accident because it's obvious that these teens knew the coach and they liked him and they probably had that type of relationship. And this was all just a tragic accident. This is the picture of the house, and as you can see, the road, it does look kind of slippery, especially when wet. But a lot of people had a couple different opinions about this. Some think that the charges should be dropped and that the kids should, just do community service since it was an accident. Nothing was premeditated as far as the loss of life. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen yet. So we are still waiting for the courts to decide. And it's important to note that both Hughes and his wife were teachers at the school, and they knew that their house would be targeted because they were also targeted back in 2023. And in the article, it says there was no confrontation. Jason Hughes knew the students were coming, and he was exciting and waiting to catch them in the act. And unfortunately, he caught them, but things just took a turn for the worse. So to summarize, Wallace was charged with first-degree vehicular homicide, reckless driving, criminal trespass, and littering, while 4 others were charged with criminal trespass and littering. Law enforcement officials said that they were looking into the possibility of dropping the charges against the students, and both the teens' families and the person who lost their life's family are set to meet. So they're going to talk it out, and let's hope we come to some peaceful resolution. But rest in peace to Mr. Hughes, and I hope this is a lesson to just be careful with your fun. Just be cautious.